Live from the Student Union on campus, this is Gold Mine Live. Your weekly all-access pass inside Charlotte Athletics is brought to you by Ortho Carolina, proud to present the 2017 Charlotte 49ers football season. Bojangles, it's bow time. Your Carolina Ford dealers. Go to yourfordchoice.com and enter the Adventure Ready giveaway to win a 2017 Escape or Fusion from your Carolina Ford dealers. Harris Teeter, where 49ers fans shop for groceries. University Eye Associates. And by Wells Fargo. Charlotte 49er fans, show your pride with a customized Wells Fargo debit card. Stop by your nearest Wells Fargo or visit Wells Fargo Card Design Studio online to learn more. Now, here's your host, the voice of the 49ers, Matt Swerad.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Gold Mine Live as we come to you from the Student Union today and getting ready for the first home game of the season for the Charlotte 49ers coming up this Saturday night. They take on the Aggies of North Carolina A&T. Matt Swart alongside Kevin Donnelly and head coach Brad Lambert. And back in the studio is Desmond Johnson today. And, Coach, good to see you on this Monday. Kind of feel like football weather right now. A little chilly today.
Yeah, no question. Got a little wind, rain out there. A little chill in the air. Good to be back home. Get our first home game this weekend. So excited about that. We've kind of been road warriors here the first 2 weeks of the season. So it's good to be back.
Well, we went to Kansas State, played a very good team in the Wildcats, 19th in the coaches poll and the AP poll going into our game last Saturday, and we saw how good. The difference right now at a team at that level is the speed, isn't it? And we certainly saw that with Kansas State. Yeah,
no question. And the one thing we said going into the game, we didn't want to give them anything down the field, and we didn't. We just really struggled stopping the run. We had 300 yards rushing and kind of bled us to death there in the first half. But their ability to make you miss in the open field. I thought their quarterback was, he's kind of an interesting runner, not real sudden, but just kind of got through there and made guys miss. And that's the one thing that stood out at you is their athleticism, making us miss. We had too many missed tackles in the game defensively, and then offensively we couldn't create any plays. I thought their corners played extremely well on our wide receivers.
We'll talk more about this game, but first I wanted to ask you, it was a bit of a homecoming for you. You played at Kansas State, and a lot of family and friends at the game, so it was nice in that regard for you.
Yeah, it was good to see everybody. Seen guys from my fraternity when I was in school, former players, guys that I played with there, a lot of family there. It took us a long time to get out of there. I was holding everybody up. We were trying to get on the plane, and my high school coach was there. So it was good from that standpoint, but we'd like to play better on the field.
So you had some of your fraternity brothers there. Any good stories get popped up?
No.
The war stories always come up.
That's in the past. We'll just leave it there.
So you had to enjoy being back on the campus, and I'm sure it's just changed immeasurably since you've been there as a student and then probably in recent years.
Yeah, the stadium's totally different. It's so much bigger. It's so nice. They've built a first-class facility, and what Coach has done there over the years, just the consistency of winning, that's what you get. The building's brand new. They just put it up a year or so ago. The press box, the stadium, like a lot of that wasn't there. The Bramlage Coliseum, the basketball arena up there with the scoreboard, all that wasn't there. So they've just really done a nice job facility-wise, and really just got their program in a really nice place right now, and consistently in the top 20, and that's what you strive for, to be consistent, win on a consistent basis, and recruit good players.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned Coach Snyder and what a program he's built over the years there, and not only in terms of, like you said, top 20, but just the hospitality everyone showed to us as a staff, the way their guys acted on the field, the sportsmanship, really just a good model to be able to learn from. And as you grow this program that's just going on its 5th year.
Yeah, no question. I mean, it's first-class operation. We had no issues getting in, out, none of that. It went really smooth other than the game.
Well, as we look at the game a little bit, let's talk first about the offense, and had that one really good drive. It started with the kickoff, and they were doing some things with the kickoff, trying to keep the ball away from Chris Montgomery, and this was a short kick, and Aaron McAllister kind of wrestled the ball away from Chris and then took it down the far sideline. That really started that drive.
Yeah, no question. And really, special teams as a whole, I thought Coach Skolasky had a great plan going into the game, and we executed it really well, because that's the one area that they can just bust you wide open as special teams. They've done it to everybody, and so that was a big point of emphasis going in the game. And I thought it was a wash or a plus on our side, special teams-wise, because our punter, Arthur, did a great job punting the ball. We kept it away from him. That was all intentional. Then when we had the wind, we went ahead and punted it, and he hit it great. We won the net punting. And when you come out and you meet all your goals, from a special team standpoint, I was really proud of the guys. They really took it upon themselves to not let one get out because they're dynamic in the return game, and I was really proud of our guys from a special team standpoint.
Yeah, DJ Reed has had so many in just a few games now. Big returns, 162 yards for a touchdown against Central Arkansas. I was kind of surprised late in the game that he was still back there returning punts. You don't get somebody hurt, and he's such a big part of their punt return.
Yeah, I couldn't, he was back there. They got 3 number 2s on their team, so it was kind of confusing, who was back there. But he's a dynamic player, really fast. I'll never forget watching the film on Sunday. He was playing right corner, and Hassan ran the ball to our right, their left, and he came from the right corner position, and he passed up the whole defense and tackled him. The guy's really fast. And that was kind of where they are skill-wise. They got a lot of speed, a lot of strength. I was really impressed with their speed and athleticism at the skill position, whether that's corner, wide receiver. I thought they're really, they've got some good players out there.
Yeah, and just to kind of put a bow on the special teams part of it you talked about, really can't say enough about Arthur Hart and what a job he did, because he's asked to do so many different things. Coach Skolaski is using him very well. A lot of those kicks early on were just low knucklers, kind of rugby style, and really got the ball down so the defense could go, have some room to work with and defend and not give them any big plays.
Yeah, that was, a big part of the plan was to roll out and punt the ball that way. And then once you got to the stadium and realized the wind was blowing in one direction, we really wanted to do that into the wind because we didn't want to hang it up. And then when we were going the other direction, we let him go a little bit. He did a nice job punting the ball over to the sideline, and he hit, I don't know, one of them was 60-some yards. He almost pinned it inside the 5 and wasn't even trying to. But I thought it was a really good plan, to punt the ball, because they're scary when you punt the ball. You're kind of holding your breath every time you'd punt it because they can take it the distance on you, as they did the week before.
Yeah, and I think being in the Big 12 conference, I really saw the big difference in speed on special teams.
Yep.
The way they attack down the field on kickoff,
yep,
coverage unit, and their punt unit. That's really where you could see it. They have a lot of role players and backup and third string positions, but they're out there and they can fly around.
Yeah, no question. And like I said, they do a good job. And Coach Atkins, our offensive line coach, he was at Oklahoma State the last 2 years, and he talked about it before the game. In the Big 12, they pretty much lead all that stuff, from a special team standpoint. So we knew it going in, and that's why I was really coming out of the game proud of our guys from a special team standpoint, covering kicks and handling those situations when you kick the ball.
Another concern of yours going in was the non-offensive touchdowns. They're one of the tops, if not the best team in the country since about the late 90s. It's scoring not on offense, and they had the pick 6 and then the lateral that we watched the replay 4 or 5 times. We could have sworn the ball was forward, but hey, whatever, they called it the way they did. But those are 2 touchdowns they scored in the non-offensive factor.
Yeah, no question, and they didn't let us down. They got 2, and Hassan was throwing the out route, threw just a little bit inside. Guy made a good play on it. The lateral, the official said that he came over and told me, said that I didn't like the way it was ruled on the field. That was my contention, but he said on the video replay he had it backward the whole way, so kind of hard to argue with him on that standpoint. He's looking at the replay, and it's his call. So I didn't think it was, but he had it all the way as backwards, he said.
Going into the game also, after week 1, one of the goals was to limit the mistakes, the penalties, and you did. That was a much cleaner game on Saturday.
Yeah, we were a lot cleaner. I was a little disappointed. Cove got the pass interference call down there. Would have got us off the field with a field goal there on 3rd down. We had opportunities defensively to get off the field, a handful of times, probably another 4 or 5 times that, would have forced a field goal, would have got our punt return team out there. We missed some tackles in the open field, and then, of course, we got that penalty. But it was much cleaner. I didn't like the way the game started. Hassan lost track of the play clock. It's a loud venue, so we had to lineman jump. Then we're messing around with the 25-second clock. So the penalties, we just didn't have near the yardage. So in penalties, and that was a good thing. We made a huge point of that all week and made a big emphasis with the guys.
You mentioned the venue and the crowd noise and all that, and it was, I think, probably the most electric, hyped up venue that these guys have been able to play in.
Yeah.
That includes Louisville, that includes Kentucky. Yeah. This one by far, with the student support, the fan support that they got, they're all in their seats early, the band's going. I'm sure there was a lot of butterflies in some of those guys early on when they had those couple of mistakes.
Yeah, I'm sure. And it's really impressive being that it was an 11 a.m. kick. Those people were out there early. Of course, there were some people stayed at our hotel, some Kansas State fans, and they had their coolers out rolling early, about 6:30 in the morning, so they were headed that way early. And their student section was really impressive. They've done a nice job with that, coordinating their student section with their band and the things they do. So you just got to, that's part of going on the road. You got to block all that out and just stay focused on the task at hand, one drive at a time.
And I pulled into the stadium about 6:15 in the morning. It was dark out, and they were playing cornhole out there. They were tailgating hard at 6:15 in the morning. So hopefully this week, as we have our home game at 6 o'clock against North Carolina A&T, it's going to be a great atmosphere at Jerry Richardson Stadium. We'll take our first break on the show right now, come back, and it's going to be our bow tie challenge as Kevin Donnelly's going to put his title on the line of Sweet Tea from last week and to see if he can do it again. That's coming up next. This is Goldmine Live on the Charlotte IMG Sports Network.
Okay, it's time to belly up to the bar because it's the last call to save big on 2017 Ford F-Series. Cash in on the truck that hauls the most and has more efficiency at the pump with an EcoBoost engine and a high-strength military-grade aluminum alloy body. Time to get in on America's best-selling trucks 40 years running because you snooze, you lose, pal.
Get $10,837 total savings on a 2017 F-150, plus first responders get an additional $1,000 at your Carolina Ford dealer.
Sophie, his 13th birthday. Gift, we've got you. Guitar, coming tomorrow. Road game today, surprise party tomorrow. Change of plans. Game tomorrow.
No, birthday tomorrow.
Hotel. Guitar, reroute.
Birthdays are on birthdays.
Party, relocate. UPS My Choice makes rerouting packages easy. How we're helping companies solve for the needs of customers like Sophie.
All right, welcome back to Goldmine Live. And it is time for the Bow Time Challenge. And Kevin Donnelly easily won the Sweet Tea contest last week. Now, Spence today is going to be his challengers from Morganton, a student here at UNC Charlotte. So, got 30 seconds to drink that. And whoever wins, put the cup down first. No spillage, Kevin. So, you were good last week. You were good last week. Scott, you start the clock. And they're off. And Spence is doing a good job. But Kevin, he won pretty easily last week. Let's see if he has more of a challenge this week. Spence is doing a great job. Spence just knocked him off. And I'm not sure if it was even close.
Spence, my man.
Wow, that was big time. Nice job, Spence.
Nice job, buddy.
And there you go.
I took it easy on him. I really wanted to enjoy that fantastic Bojangles Sweet Tea. Oh, that's so good.
Nice work, Spence.
Yeah, great job, man. I don't lose very often, but when I do, it's to a guy named Spence.
That was pretty good. So you're now 1 for 1 and 1-1. So you're
okay.
I thought I was on a roll, man, but you were good. He got me today. He was the better opponent. He's probably just came from fraternity row and down in some keggers and things like that. I don't know what they do in college.
He's been practicing.
There you go.
Well, nice job. And so we move on. We got the game coming up this Saturday. It's going to be North Carolina A&T, and that's at Jerry Richardson Stadium, our first of back-to-back home games after being on the road for the first couple of weeks, going to Eastern Michigan and Kansas State, now against the Aggies of North Carolina A&T, a team that's going to come in hungry, Coach. It's a great opportunity for them, and 2-0 right now to start the season. They want to stay perfect. We want to get in the W column. It should be a fun game.
Yeah, no question. it's a good football team coming in here. Last year they went up, beat Kent State up there. So this environment, it won't intimidate them. They'll be looking forward to it. They'll bring a lot of fans. They're right down the road in Greensboro. So, they got a senior-laden team. So this will be a tough game for our guys, and we're gonna have to prepare extremely hard this week, just like we do every week, and be ready to play when we come out at 6 o'clock.
How good has their defense been? They've given up 3 points, and that's 1.5 average a game. So
yeah,
that's getting it done.
Yeah, no question. They're very active up front. A lot of speed up front. Daryl Johnson, number 40, is a defensive end, long guy out of South Georgia down there, Camden County. Very active, long guy. So they're pretty disruptive up front, and that's what they did through the first 2 games. They got their Sam back there, Marcus Albert's back. He's a really good active player. We think he's one of their better players. They moved Jeremy Taylor. He played linebacker for them last year. He's playing safety for them this year. So they've got plenty of good players along their defense, and they're very active, create a lot of lost yardage plays. So it'll be a tough challenge for our offense. We'll have to block them up front and play well in the line of scrimmage.
When you look back at the Kansas State game, and you mentioned that running the football, how much of that was their backs? They were really talented. How much was their offensive line?
Yeah, we misfit a few of them. They got after us pretty good up front. I thought they were really good offensive line going into the game, big physical group. They lost one of their guys early in the game, 71, hurt his wrist or something, so he went out, didn't play the rest of the game. But I thought their fullbacks, tight ends, running backs run hard. That was a physical group up front, and they pushed us a little bit, but we held our own in there. We got out of a few gaps, and we just couldn't create that play to get them in 3rd and long much. And then when we did, we let them out a couple times, and then we got off some and forced a couple field goals. But you just gotta hold up better. You can't give up 300 yards rushing during a game.
I bring it up, I wondered, because A&T is averaging about 170 a game, and they went down to Gardner-Webb and really just handled the Bulldogs 45-3.
Yeah, really impressive win on the road. Gardner-Webb's got a good coach. Carol McCray out there is doing a nice job at Gardner-Webb, and they went out there and got after them really good and played extremely hard, as they will coming in here. They go on the road and they'll come in here playing at a high level, and our guys will have to do the same. We're first time at home, so I expect our guys to play at a high level as well.
And it's a team that I know that because of the level of football they play at FCS level, people might not truly give them the respect that they deserve, but this is a very talented team, and you can just see it. I'm watching some NFL games yesterday, and there's the backup running back for the Chicago Bears is out there, and he's making plays, and a kid that was just in the backfield for them last year. So they have a ton of talent on that team.
Yeah, I tell the team every year, no matter who you play, everybody has good players. They had a guy drafted last year. They got a couple more on this year's team that the NFL is looking at. So everybody has good players, and they're no exception to that rule. And then they're used to winning. They lost 3 games last year, lost in the play, went to the playoffs. They're ranked in the top 25 this year in FCS. So these guys are no strangers to winning. I think they lost at Richmond last year in the playoffs. Like I said, they went on the road and played Kent State last year and beat them up there, I think, in overtime. So, they're used to winning, and Coach Broadway's done it over the years. For a long time, his winning percentage is pretty good. So they know how to win, and they know what they're doing, and they do a nice job. It's a well-coached football team when you watch them on video.
Well, and you gotta figure they got to be jacked up. This is a game they probably circled on their calendar and said, look, this is the Division I team that we get to play. It's here in our state, and we don't really care that they're a new program. We can go down there and make a difference and try and get this win. They're going to bring a ton of fans and families and the band and the whole deal.
Sure.
So it's going to be, it's going to be a fun environment, but it's going to be different for these kids. It's a team coming in here that's hungry and going to want to win.
Yeah, no question. And hopefully our guys are the same way, and it'll be a really good environment Saturday night. A lot of our students will be there. Our fans will show up. It's our first game, so it should be a sellout and a great environment Saturday night, and the opponent is going to be first class coming in here. And like I say, it's an in-state rival, so it's an in-state game, and there'll be, like I say, a lot of people here. Like they're guys that played played with each other, against each other in high school. So it's going to be on Saturday night, no question.
Hassan Clue, your quarterback, started his career at North Carolina A&T. There might be that little inside added, for him, or he wants to just go out there and prove that, hey, I'm
Yeah, hopefully just, he settles down and just plays his game, and you can't worry about all that stuff. What's happened in the past has happened, and, he's found a home, and for whatever reason, he was, we recruited him. He's from right down the street, and he's playing for us now, and so, he should just be focused on the task at hand, one drive at a time, and let's go try to win the game.
Well, how's Hassan doing? Because I know with playing two tough teams, I mean, you see now Eastern Michigan beats Rutgers, so Eastern Michigan is a good team. There's no shame in losing that game, and I know we have chances to win it, but then going on the road against a Big 12 school like Kansas State, these are just incredibly tough defenses to go against, and how do you keep him up and his confidence up? Because the kind of plays he can make, it's just the caliber of players they've gone against have been so tough.
Yeah, no question. He's just got to learn that, in moments you can't make those decisions where you turn the ball over for 6 points, and, just throw it away if you have to. It's okay to punt sometimes. And so, he wants to do great, and he wants the 49ers to win. He's trying to make plays, and that's what I love about him. He's nobody cares more, nobody works harder. Like he's the guy, and so he sometimes can try to do too much, and just let it come to you, and it'll be fine. But you just need to relax and don't let the environment or anything else be too big. Just stay focused in the moment and really just execute what we call, and don't try to do too much.
Yeah, and I can, he's a guy that if you get to know him or see him or hear him on TV, he is very soft-spoken.
Yeah.
But, man, what a competitor he is. I mean, getting the touchdown that he got against those Wildcat defense was just another phenomenal play. I mean, just sacrificing his body for the team, but what a great score for him.
Yeah, no question. He really, great effort to get the ball in the end zone, went over the top again. He scares me when he does that. I wish he'd quit doing it, but
no doubt.
He's 2 for 2 when he does it. So, but he's, we just got to make sure we're making good decisions and taking care of the ball, and that's the main thing, because he has the ability, and we got to utilize him in the run game, just like we talked about last week, and we got to continue to do that. And he's got to make good decisions and see the field the way we need for him to see it.
Well, Coach, we'll take a break here in the show now. Come back with the Ortho Carolina Student Athlete Spotlight up next, and we'll sit down and talk with linebacker Markievicz Davis, our special guest during Gold Mine Live, coming up as we come back in a moment on the Charlotte IMG Sports Network.
Okay, it's time to belly up to the bar, because it's the last call to save big on 2017 Ford F-Series. Cash in on the truck that hauls the most and has more efficiency at the pump with an EcoBoost engine and a high-strength military-grade aluminum alloy body. Time to get in on America's best-selling trucks 40 years running, because you snooze, you lose, pal.
Get $10,837 total savings on a 2017 F-150, plus first responders get an additional $1,000 at your Carolina Ford dealer.
Sophie, his 13th birthday. Gift, we've got you. Guitar, coming tomorrow. Road game today, surprise party tomorrow. Change of plans. Game tomorrow.
No, birthday tomorrow.
Hotel. Guitar, reroute.
Birthdays are on birthdays.
Party, relocate. UPS My Choice makes rerouting packages easy. How we're helping companies solve for the needs of customers like Sophie.
The Student Athlete of the Week, sponsored by Ortho Carolina, the official team physician of your Charlotte 49ers. This week's Ortho Carolina Student Athlete of the Week is sophomore volleyball player Jocelyn Stoner. Stoner is a strong middle hitter for the 49ers and has helped lead Charlotte to first in the nation in blocks so far this season. Stoner came to Charlotte from Greensboro, North Carolina, and as a freshman, she saw action in 99 out of 100 total sets the 49ers played. This season, she ranks second on the team with 27 blocks. Jocelyn Stoner, the Ortho Carolina Student Athlete of the Week. This has been the Ortho Carolina Student Athlete of the Week, brought to you by Ortho Carolina, the official team physician of your Charlotte 49ers.
Well, welcome back to Gold Mine Live here at the Student Union on campus as we get ready for the home opener this Saturday against North Carolina A&T, 6:05 kick at Jerry Richardson Stadium. And we're joined now by senior linebacker Markievicz Davis. And great to see you on this Monday morning. Hope you're doing well.
Yes, sir, man. Great to see you guys.
Getting ready, getting excited for this home opener?
I'm excited, man. We've been on the road for the first 2 games, so it's like, wow, can't be – I don't know. When you play on the road, it's kind of like you don't got your home field advantage or your family's not there, so it's like you got to get the juices from the inside. So to see some loved ones in the crowd and student, you know what I'm saying, the students
Yeah,
going to be turned. It's going to be fun.
Should be a great day for football, too, the 6:05 kick. And this being your senior season, it's got to make it even more special.
Oh, yeah, it's bittersweet, but it's one of those things you look forward to your senior year, home games. I'm excited, man. I know the crowd's going to be rocking, and we're just going to put on a good show. Well,
you played well against Kansas State. You had your previous career high in tackles, 7 at Kentucky. So, the big venues, you kind of rise to the occasion. You had 8 tackles against the 19th-ranked Wildcats. What was that like for you?
That was pretty humbling, man. The night before I prayed, like, man, this is a big game, and this is what I dreamed of as a kid. And you get to play in these huge stadiums. The crowd and the atmosphere was so amazing. I'm like, wow, what better stage to make some big plays. So the opportunities came, and I just made sure I made advantage.
What was it like when you came through the tunnel and you saw that purple on Saturday?
I'm not going to lie, man. My heart kind of dropped. I'm like, wow, we're here. But I was excited, man. Once the first kickoff, I was ready to go. We was pretty amped up.
Yeah, and, if people that don't know your story, when you got here on campus and as a young player had gotten injured, dinged up a little bit, had some surgery, had some things repaired, and you finally got that right. So you had to really overcome a lot.
Yes, sir.
Then you're on the offensive side of the ball for a while, running the rock, and now you're on defense. So it's not really been something you've been here your whole career playing that position. But what a great testament, I think, to being resilient and following, what the coach has laid out for you. And you've done a good job, and it's paying off. You got to feel good how this senior year started out for you.
I can't agree more, because coming in as a safety, I'm like, all right, this is gonna be my spot. But due to injuries and other tribulations, I find myself this spring like, wow, we don't know what position I can play, but I want to impact for my senior year. So try running back. I mean, it went pretty well, but we got 2 solid running backs with Benny and Rob, and it carried a little well. So just found a spot for me on defense at outside linebacker. I played that position in high school, so it was like a homecoming for me, and just found my niche, and I just want to be able to continue to impact not only on defense but on special teams as well.
Yeah, it's interesting. You had to play a little bit in high school at linebacker. I was going to ask you how different it is to change positions like that, and then not just yourself, but Juwan Foggy going from a wide receiver to linebacker, and he's played awfully well back there too in 2 games.
Spur position right now is actually pretty interesting, given that I came from safety and running back, and he's played wide receiver. But Foggy's a great athlete, big, strong guy. So his success there is not even a surprise to us. He's a pretty good player, and I play well off of him. Like, he gives me energy, so when I come in the game, like, he's already set the tone for me. So I just kind of follow up behind him, and I'm excited, man. Coach Evans does a great job of getting us prepared week in and week out. So just to see the success, we just got to keep honing in, and I think that we have some better ball ahead of us. Hopefully 10 wins straight.
And you mentioned Juwan Foggy. We had him on the show last week and talked a little bit about moving from offense to defense. And so you got to spend some time with Coach Mullen, and you got to spend some time with Coach Wallerstadt now. Just tell us a little bit about the differences in the way that they kind of put up the game plans and the way they coach.
First, that's probably 2 of the most intense guys I've ever played for. Like, wow, their intensity is probably on 10, but very thorough and very, very professional at that. But I think from a defensive standpoint, Coach Wiley is really in tune with his defense, and he know how he wants it run. So he's pretty particular about where you need to be and the yardage or, the fit for the gap. And for Coach Mullen, is more so, with it being a tempo offense, you got to kind of have a feel for the defense and a feel for the pace of the game. So I thought that was pretty much a transition for me, because I came from a high offense in high school, so it's like a huddle, but here is no huddle, so everything's pretty much fast-paced. And Coach Mullen does a great job of just rolling the plays in and just kind of getting a feel for the pace of the game. That way we can run the ball and kind of catch them sleep on the deep ball whenever we can. And I just enjoy playing for both of them.
Do you think that it helped you at all being on the offense for a little while, and now what you're looking for when you're on the defensive side?
For sure, because it's all about perspective on defense. Like, when I'm reading my keys, the tackle or whatnot, like, I know what a pass set looks like indefinitely, because before I'm kind of guessing, like, okay, when he kicks back really wide, is he really passing or is he hinge blocking? So actually getting to play offense and understanding the schemes and how they're doing things, I'm kind of looking for those keys and certain things as I'm on defense, and it's really helped me out.
I mentioned the 2 differences of the 2 coordinators. You also like to read autobiographies. I was told you really like the book about Nick Saban. What did you take from that, one of the top coaches in all of sports?
Yeah, Nick, well, I guess it's kind of cliche to be an Alabama fan just because they win so much, but I just like success and winning. That's one of the biggest things for me. Like, man, I hate losing. So this summer I really wanted to pick up reading. My goal is to read 6 books this year. I've read 4, but that was the first book I picked up. And Nick Saban's such a successful guy, so in his book, he just talked a lot about doing the little things right and consistently. So it's really what I've been trying to focus on, doing the little things right and consistently.
Well, I hope Coach Lambert was hearing you talking about reading books, because that's something a lot of fans don't know, that when he's coaching, he's not just coaching X's and O's, but it's about how to be a man and how to learn and constantly, just drinking as much knowledge as you can. And I've heard him preach over and over about reading. Reading is what you got to be doing.
And it just makes me think about Make the Bed. Ever since we started that book in camp, like I literally can't leave my apartment without making up my bed, because I just feel like that's the first check mark of the day.
Yeah, he had a book that he had with the team. It's Make Your Bed, and it's about it's from a Navy SEAL that wrote it from his perspective, and just some of the things that that he learned from that experience. But one thing was accomplishing a task first thing in the morning, and it sets the day right, and it's going to set you on a good pattern. And it's just great how you guys have picked up on that and learned from him.
Yes, sir.
Now, when you're not playing, you're still kind of getting involved with Madden on video games with your teammates. Talk about that competition amongst yourselves, having a little bit of fun away from the game.
Wow, man, it's almost like we get online with each other, my teammates. We probably like 10 guys. We get on PlayStation and we just create like a fantasy league or whatnot, and we just draft each other teams, and we get to play, and it's like we on the field again. Like, man, I feel like I'm really coaching my team, and we're just talking trash to each other on the mic, and we're just real good competition outside, and it kind of brings us together as well, gives us time to spend with each other outside of football.
Now, for yourself, you're going to on pace to graduate in May, a sociology degree, and I'm sure you want to keep playing if you can. And if not, what are some of the plans that maybe you have in the future?
Outside of football, man, I really have a passion for kids, so I'll probably go back into the community and just plug in, maybe a youth pastor or something I can touch the youth and just kind of be a positive influence for the younger generation, just to change and impact the world. I'm not really sure if I can do like the office 9 to 5. I got a big personality, so I want to be able to, communicate and interact with people.
Well, I know that, being a senior, probably your leadership role has increased a little bit. And how's that been for you on the defensive side? Has it been something you've been able to ease into pretty easily, trying to be a leader on that side of the ball?
Yeah, and it started this summer in the weight room and conditioning. I want to have like my voice present, just being that example, because it's not about being the loudest guy, but I want to be one of the guys that, lift at the top ranks in the weight room, finish first in the running, just to set the tone. And when I do speak, it comes from, a place out of love and a place out of respect. That way, our logo 10 years from now, we'll hold a lot of weight. So leadership for me has been more so example than it has been voice, but I feel like the guys respond to me well, and I'm just humbled by that.
Markievicz, thanks so much for taking some time today, and really appreciate it. I had a great time talking to you. And good luck this week as you guys get ready for the season home opener against North Carolina A&T.
Thank you guys, man. This is a pleasure.
Markievicz Davis, senior linebacker for the 49ers. We'll take a break, come back with more with Coach Lambert coming up next on the Charlotte IMG Sports Network.
Okay, it's time to belly up to the bar, because it's the last call to save big on 2017 Ford F-Series. Cash in on the truck that hauls the most and has more efficiency at the pump with an EcoBoost engine and a high-strength military-grade aluminum alloy body. Time to get in on America's best-selling trucks 40 years running, because you snooze, you lose, pal.
Get $10,837 total savings on a 2017 F-150, plus first responders get an additional $1,000 at your Carolina Ford dealer.
Sophie, his 13th birthday. Gift? We've got you. Guitar? Coming tomorrow. Road game today? Surprise party tomorrow. Change of plans. Game tomorrow.
No, birthday tomorrow.
Guitar? Reroute.
Birthdays are on birthdays.
Party? Relocate. UPS My Choice makes rerouting packages easy. How we're helping companies solve for the needs of customers like Sophie.
Now, welcome back to Gold Mine Live here at the Student Union as we are heading into week 3 of the college football season. Niners taking on North Carolina A&T this coming Saturday. And for tickets, go to charlotte49ers.com. Should be a great day and a wonderful crowd at Jerry Richardson Stadium for the home opener. Again, game time is 6:05 this coming Saturday. And I want to thank Markievicz Davis for taking some time. And now back with us is Coach Brad Lambert. And, Coach, you got a really good one in senior Markievicz Davis, a guy that do anything to help this team. He's played multiple positions and now doing a nice job at linebacker.
Yeah, I never questioned along the way at all. We asked him to do a lot of different things, and he just wants our team to win, and just so appreciative of guys like that. He played running back, DB, outside linebacker, and he's kind of found a home, and then really affects the game special teams wise as well, because he's extremely fast. He's a real physical guy, so we need for him to be an impact for us to be successful, not only defensively but as kind of that special teams leader. He's done a really good job in that aspect. Coach Skolaski wants him on every team, and that says a lot about him.
I know you said somebody you wanted to say hi to.
Yeah, Sam and Taylor over here. All you students, the student 49er clubs over there, just get over there and see Sam and Taylor and join that club and get great seating at all the events. We appreciate them. I can't really see them. I saw them when Markievicz was up here and went and talked to them. There they are. So they're over there working hard. We appreciate them. We appreciate all the students, man. The students, we can't be successful on the field without you. And that was the fun part of Kansas State, to see their student body and all the different stuff they did with their band. I mean, they were right behind our bench. I mean, they were letting us have it. So
that's one thing Markievicz said. He came to that tunnel. That's the first thing he noticed was all that purple. And he goes, it was really intimidating at first, and we'd like to see that again as we go forward this season here at Richardson Stadium, and the first chance is this Saturday.
Yeah, and shout out to our band. When we started our band here, changed our game day. It just kind of, we really are college football now. Once we do the 49er walk and the band's there, and then they're in the stadium, and they're loud. They're doing a great job, so we appreciate them as well. But appreciate Sam and Taylor over there working so hard for us.
So as we go forward in this coming Saturday with North Carolina A&T, we talked about them coming in 2-0, and a team that beat Kansas State last year on the road, went to the FCS playoffs last year. It's an older team, and they're coming in here trying to go 3-0. They've got goals just like we do, and theirs to get back to the playoffs. This is a big game circled on their schedule. Yeah, no question. This will be a big game, both sides of it. Like I said, this is an in-state game in our stadium, and it's going to be a real good environment, and it's an experienced team that knows how to win. So they won't be intimidated coming in. They got a senior-laden offensive line, quarterbacks back. They did lose their running back, although the youngster Marquell Cartwright that's playing for them this year played last year. So they're not going to be intimidated. Jaquil Capel's playing for them. We signed Jaquil in our first class. He's transferred there and is playing, got a 6th-year eligibility. So, there'll just be a lot of familiarity with guys, knowing each other, and everybody playing fast and hard, and should be a good environment and a really good game. But they're not going to be intimidated by any stretch, and our guys, won't either. They'll be ready. I know our guys, they put in the work every week, and I don't expect anything less this week.
Well, I know this morning you guys kind of covered the game film from Kansas State. You're just starting to give the game plan out to the guys. But, with this game coming up, they're 2-0. They scored a ton of points. Their defense has been pretty good. You kind of have to weigh that against the talent that they've gone against. But what are one or two areas that really stand out that you got to be concerned with and really focus on, that if we can stop this or we can keep this to a minimum, that we'll have a lot of success on Saturday?
Well, I think a big piece of it, is their quarterback. Their offensive line is so experienced, and they give him a good opportunity to run the ball, throw the ball. So I think a key is how we play up front defensively. Can we stop them from running the ball? Because that gets them going. They know how to run the ball. They got a good scheme. They'll be in 4 wides. They'll be in what I call 21 personnel with 2 backs and a tight end. So they use all the personnel groups. They know how to attack you running the ball. So we're going to have to play extremely well up front against a veteran offensive line. And I think our guys have done well through 2 weeks playing against 2 pretty good offensive lines, especially that one Saturday. We didn't just get knocked completely off the ball. And so I was really proud of what our guys are doing up front. We got to make sure we're solid on run fits and all those things. And then they have the ability in the first 2 weeks to really get deep on you. They've hit some big plays, kind of like Kansas State did in their first game. So we'll have to keep that piece of it under control. But I think stopping the run is going to be a real key. And then the ability to run the ball. We haven't done a great job of that over the first 2 weeks, and it's a really active front. So we're going to have to block them up front. Our offensive line's going to have to play extremely well. And then Hassan's got to, do a good job and make good decisions. Same as always. And then special teams wise, we've got to once again keep playing at the level we've been playing at from a special team standpoint and try to hit a big play in that aspect of the game. As those are huge plays in the game. If you can get a big play and keep them from getting one. They've got really good return guys, and so we're going to have to keep them under control as we did last week at Kansas State.
Got a couple more breaks we got to get in, so we'll take one right now. Come back with more with Coach Lambert in a moment. This is the Charlotte IMG Sports Network.
Okay, it's time to belly up to the bar because it's the last call to save big on 2017 Ford F-Series. Cash in on the truck that hauls the most and has more efficiency at the pump with an EcoBoost engine and a high-strength military-grade aluminum alloy body. Time to get in on America's best-selling trucks 40 years running because you snooze, you lose, pal.
Get $10,837 total savings on a 2017 F-150, plus first responders get an additional $1,000 at your Carolina Ford dealer.
Sophie, his 13th birthday. Gift, we've got you. Guitar, coming tomorrow. Road game today, surprise party tomorrow. Change of plans. Game tomorrow.
No, birthday tomorrow.
Guitar, reroute.
Birthdays are on birthdays.
Party, relocate. UPS My Choice makes rerouting packages easy. How we're helping companies solve for the needs of customers like Sophie.
Welcome back to Gold Mine Live. Here with head coach Brad Lambert talking Niner football. The home opener is this Saturday against North Carolina A&T. That'll kick off at 6:05. And, there was some football yesterday. The NFL started the season. And we got a chance to watch Larry Ogunjobi here in town because his Cleveland Browns were on television the early game against Pittsburgh. They almost upset the Steelers, played really well in that game, and Larry had some big plays in that game. Fun to watch him.
Yeah, that's what my boys informed me. I don't get to watch much NFL football on Sunday because we're in here grinding, but my 12-year-old, he keeps me up to date. He said, Larry's made a couple of really good stops, so if he could find a way to put him on his fantasy team, I'm sure he would. But the D linemen don't make your fantasy team. But, really proud of Larry and what he's doing. And Brandon's on the practice squad, I think, up in Washington.
Yeah.
So proud of those guys. But as I told our team today, hey, we had a guy drafted last year. North Carolina A&T had a guy drafted last year. I mean, everybody has good players, and this group will too as well. They've got a tackle that's from A.L. Brown up here is just, a 6'7", 300-pounder, really, really good player. And I'm sure he played with Khalif in high school. And so, they'll have good players just like everybody.
Carrington King did pass Larry Ogunjobi this week. He was 2 tackles away from Larry, the all-time tackles leader for the 49ers in school history. So Carrington King doing a nice job. He's at 223 now and had a nice game.
Yeah, he did. He could have had about 10 more if he'd have put his eyes in the right place. I got on him this morning. He made some plays in the game, and those 2 inside backers were forced to make plays the way they were blocking. I thought our defensive line did a good job of eating up some guys, but Carrington's just been a phenomenal story here. Walked on. We almost, I think I said it in the first show, we almost didn't let him walk on. Coach Ratliff kept beating me up about letting him come play for us, and he's from Charlotte Catholic, and so we let him come out. And it didn't take long to see. As he played defensive end in high school, he didn't even stand up and play, and it didn't take long to see he had it from a vision standpoint to play linebacker. He just had a natural feel for it, and thus he's got a lot of tackles over the years, and he's played a lot of football for us, and we're going to need him through these last 10 to play extremely well and starting on Saturday.
Well, I got to say that one thing is great seeing him out there because you look at this team and what you battled the first 2 weeks, some tough opponents, not getting any major injuries. It's got to be a big sigh of relief for you because when you sign on to play a Big 12 school, you know what you're kind of getting in for. But they're a resilient bunch. They seem healthy and ready to go. And I think going forward, you have to feel good about the position you're in now with 10 games to go. Kind of close the door on these first 2 games and say, everything we want still out there.
Yeah, no question. You just play them one at a time and try to get to 1-0 each week. And this week is no different than last week. You prepare as hard as you can and try to minimize your mistakes and put guys in the right position to make plays. And this week will be just as the biggest game we got, right? It's the next one. So this is the biggest game on our schedule, and it's the next one we play. So guys like Carrington, we have been fortunate from an injury standpoint, but that's just week to week. Guys can get banged at any point. I think Coach Darning's done a really, really good job with our guys in the weight room and got them in really good shape and handled it through August with our conditioning and the way we run in practice and the things we try to do with them to put them in a position to be healthy, toward the middle to the latter part of the year.
Yeah, and I thought that was one thing that I did notice it was such a plus for you guys is the conditioning battle. That defense was on the field a bunch for you guys, but didn't have a lot of guys cramping or really looked like they were getting overly tired. They're battling through it, and you really do, like you said, Coach Durning's done an amazing job.
He really has, and the temperature jumped up on us last week out there. I didn't think it was going to be as warm as it was. It wasn't very hot at Eastern Michigan, and we went out to Manhattan, and it was pretty warm in the stadium. So I don't know what the weather forecast is this weekend. We get through this hurricane today and tomorrow and get our practice in through this rain and wind. So our guys have done a good job, and we've got to, we're constantly talking to them about what they eat and how they hydrate, and that sets you up. That starts on Monday. That doesn't happen on Friday night. You start drinking water. You've got to have a plan all week, and we talk to the guys about it. Coach Durning's real hard on them about what they put in their body.
You mentioned the storm. It probably, luckily, it's going to miss us the bulk of it, so it shouldn't affect your practice schedule too much, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. We're planning on going out there today, and then obviously tomorrow afternoon. We usually go out late afternoon. We got a little bit earlier today, just based on class schedules, and we'd like for our guys to have the ability to take Monday night classes if they need to. So we kind of allow that. So we only go about an hour, 15 minutes on Monday anyway. So we're constrained with the 4-hour day each day and 20-hour week, and so you just set your week up. And but we should be okay. It might get a little wet today, but that's okay.
Take our last break, come back with the final 5 or 6 minutes of the show with Coach Lambert getting ready for North Carolina A&T, which again is coming up on Saturday at 6:05. Again, for tickets, go to charlotte49ers.com. We're back in a moment. This is Gold Mine Live on the Charlotte IMG Sports Network.
Okay, it's time to belly up to the bar because it's the last call to save big on 2017 Ford F-Series. Cash in on the truck that hauls the most and has more efficiency at the pump with an EcoBoost engine and a high-strength military-grade aluminum alloy body. Time to get in on America's best-selling trucks 40 years running. Because you snooze, you lose, pal.
Get $10,837 total savings on a 2017 F-150, plus first responders get an additional $1,000 at your Carolina Ford dealer.
Sophie, his 13th birthday. Gift, we've got you. Guitar, coming tomorrow. Road game today, surprise party tomorrow. Change of plans. Game tomorrow.
No, birthday tomorrow.
Hotel. Guitar, reroute.
Birthdays are on birthdays.
Party, relocate. UPS My Choice makes rerouting packages easy. How we're helping companies solve for the needs of customers like Sophie.
Welcome back here at Gold Mine Live in the Student Union, and getting ready for the opener coming up this coming Saturday, the home opener, 6:05 against North Carolina A&T. And a few minutes left to show before we wrap things up. Coach, let's talk a little bit about Tommy Doctor. He got to wear number 49 for you on Saturday, Kansas State.
Yeah, Tommy's doing a really good job. Had a great camp. Walked on here. His dad played at Marshall before I got there, but I knew his dad. And then, he went to Fork Union Prep and walked on here and is now on scholarship here and was playing for us up front and got his first start at Kansas State and put him in 49. He's just worked extremely hard to put himself in a position to play here and contribute and actually let us in tackles, from a defensive line standpoint against a big physical offensive line. I was really proud of the way he played and how physical he played, and it's just playing really at a good level for us right now through 2 games. I've just been really proud of the camp he's had, all the hard work he's put in, it's just staying after it, sticking to it, grinding it out for a couple years as a walk-on, and then just getting rewarded. I mean, those are some of my best days as the head coach is when you call a guy in your office and reward him with a scholarship, because he's one of them. He broke down now. I mean, it was a good day for me to to put him on scholarship, and that wasn't his only goal, and that's what's fun. He's really, got high goals for himself and our team, so it's just been a lot of fun coaching him personally now in the D-line, and then, watching him progress. He's playing really well. We're going to need him to play well throughout this year.
Yeah, and it is such an honor for you guys to give out a scholarship. A lot of guys come with dreams of walking on and earning that thing, but it's tough. It's a lot tougher than people think it is. They see someone else or someone posts a video of getting a scholarship. They think they're next in line, but what a testament to this young man, because I've been around him a lot, and I know the grind that he went through. It was a lot of practice reps against the first team offense and earning his stripes and going through that whole process. And it's toughened him up. That makes him such a good player he is today.
Yeah, he's the picture of grit and determination. That's what you talk to the guys all the time about. Is just one day at a time, wake up and do what's right, and just grind. And the guy's just done that, and just really proud of him. And then to see him get his first start and play well, I was worried about giving him 49. He got his first start, and I was like, he probably played terrible, But he did a nice job. He wasn't overwhelmed, because he's a little bit undersized for a 3 technique. He's 265. I'd like that guy maybe a little bigger, but he's really, I've challenged him to put weight on. He just keeps going up. He's done everything we've asked, and he got out there and played extremely well for us.
Going into week 3, you're averaging 4 tackles for a loss per game. That's not bad against 2 pretty good offenses.
Yeah, no question, especially the offensive lines we played. Those 2 offensive lines were real big physical offensive lines. This group we're getting ready to play Saturday is a big physical group as well, and they've got age on them. So it'll be another tough challenge for our defensive line and linebackers to come out and keep this game under control at the line of scrimmage.
For folks maybe just tuning in as they're driving around and got a couple minutes left of the show, talk about North Carolina A&T and what to expect this week in terms of what you have to do to win, because maybe some folks don't follow the program as much and they don't realize how good A&T is. They're 2-0, and last year you mentioned beating Kent State last year and going to the playoffs and losing at Richmond.
Yeah, this is a veteran, experienced team. They lost their running back off last year's team, but the guy they got coming back, he played well the first 2 games. But keeping them under control is going to be an issue for us because they do have a really good offensive line. They got an experienced quarterback, and then they've got good skilled guys outside. So we're going to have to make sure we don't let the big play get out on us. Keep the game under control from a running game standpoint because they've run the ball. They've hit big plays in the running game and the throw game, and so keeping that piece under control. We'll have to play great in the special teams, try to get impact plays from that standpoint, and then we got to get our running game going offensively. We hadn't been able to do that yet through 2 games, and we got to try to establish that, get the running game going, get the guys moving up front, and get this ball moving from a run game standpoint, and let Hassan throw it in the right spots.
All right, I got a question for you as we're getting ready to close out the show. Okay, it's a little bit more personal. Like,
here we go.
As a head coach, as a head coach, you don't get that coaching interaction that the coordinators and position coaches get, but you're coaching that defensive line this year. What has that meant to you to be able to just interact with these kids, be in the meeting room and coach them up?
Yeah, it's just what you love. You're doing what you love, and that's the one thing that you kind of can lose track of. That's why I kind of always really wanted to stay involved in the special teams because then I could fool with the kickers every day. But it's been a lot of fun getting in with the D-line, and because there's no easy way to play D-line. It's just you get beat on every snap, and it's a physical grind every day. And then when we get to the 4th quarter, we're going to ask you to sack the quarterback in a clock drive to win the game. So, other than that, it's pretty easy. But it's been a lot of fun for me and getting with those guys, and we got a great group up there, and they've done everything we've asked, since July, and they're really doing a good job. We're just getting a little bit more experience each game. We're really inexperienced. We've played a lot of guys because we're trying to figure out exactly who those guys are, and you never really know until you get in there against a big offensive line like Kansas State on the road. So it's starting to sift its way out.
Well, Coach, thanks so much this week. Really appreciate it, and good luck in the home opener against North Carolina A&T.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
It's going to wrap it up for us. Thanks so much for tuning in, and for Kevin Donnelly, and back in the studio, Desmond Johnson. I'm Matt Swarat alongside Coach Brad Lambert. Again, thanks for watching here online and listening on the Radio Goldmine Live. We'll see you next week. Take care.